Good morning, this is Shelby Law with the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Thursday, June 9th, 2016. The main fire potential impacts are going to occur in the short term, particularly today and tomorrow, with gusty winds and low relative humidities out ahead of a low pressure system moving into the Pacific Northwest. Strongest winds will occur this afternoon and tomorrow with 40 to 50 miles an hour possible across much of Nevada and western Utah. And in these same areas, we'll expect to see low relative humidities in the 10 to 15% range. The past 24 hours of precipitation and lightning are shown here, with just some scattered showers over Idaho and portions of western Utah and eastern Nevada, with scattered lightning as well. The past 7 days of precipitation has been mainly limited to Idaho and portions of northern Nevada and northwest Utah, where the southern half of the Great Basin has been quite dry over the last 7 days. Fire potential is still somewhat moderate across much of the region, as ERCs are only beginning to increase and get closer to normal for the time of year, but our highest fire danger is occurring across the far southern tip of the Great Basin right now. With that being said, current values are still somewhat below normal for the time of year across the southern Great Basin. This morning's water vapor imagery shows that low pressure system off the coast of the Pacific Northwest, as well as a high pressure located to the south and east. It's this low that's bringing that increased winds to the Great Basin for today and tomorrow. There's also a cutoff low pressure system located off the Southern California coast that will be drawing moisture up into the central Great Basin for Saturday and Sunday. High-risk triggers have been issued for much of western and southern Nevada and southwest Utah for today for that wind and low relative humidity. Shown here are the specifics with relative humidities in the single digits across much of central and southern Nevada, and in the low teens across much of the rest of the region except for central Idaho. Gusts will be strongest over western Nevada and southwest Utah this afternoon. On Friday, the low pressure system begins to move inland over the Pacific Northwest, and that will keep the pressure gradient tight and winds strong across these same areas on Friday. Relative humidities remain low, with those gusty areas becoming a little more widespread on Friday as that low pressure trough gets closer to the Great Basin. On Saturday, that cutoff low gets drawn up into the flow and actually brings a chance for some showers across portions of mainly central and eastern Great Basin. And we'll see that main low pressure system moving into the Pacific Northwest and northern Rockies, bringing a very significant decrease in temperatures to the Great Basin. High temperatures will drop into the upper 70s in Nevada and the mid-80s in Utah on Saturday, with that chance of precipitation over Idaho, Wyoming, much of Utah, and portions of eastern Nevada. 3-day precipitation totals are shown here. This forecast extends through Saturday night, with the best chance for precipitation coming to eastern Nevada and northern Utah. More of the same is expected on Sunday, as some of that moisture will linger across central portions of the Great Basin, with cooler temperatures under the influence of the trough to the north. On Monday, some showers could linger, but the moisture begins to move off to the west as a drier westerly flow moves into the Great Basin. Temperatures will remain cool into the first part of next week. By Tuesday, generally sunny skies will return under that drier flow as another trough sets up off the Pacific Northwest coast. By Wednesday, breezy southwest flow could be returning to the Great Basin as that low pressure system remains off the Pacific Northwest coast. 7-day precipitation totals are shown here, the main player being that cutoff low that tracks across the center of the Great Basin, bringing some of those showers to eastern Nevada, northern Utah, and then up into western Wyoming, mainly in that Saturday to Sunday timeframe. The longer-term forecast from the Climate Prediction Center is calling for slightly below normal temperatures across much of the region, with a dry signal as well, as we expect to see a little more troughiness across the Pacific Northwest. This concludes today's fire potential briefing. Please check back tomorrow for the latest updates.